Hi, this is Grandma Lori. Today's story is Camping on the Frio. Shana was so excited. Her family was going camping for the first time in a long time. She packed and unpacked and then repacked everything she wanted to take with her, sometimes including her favorite books, other times including her tablet. Finally, she settled on both one book and her tablet. She made sure to download all the games she wanted to play offline since there wouldn't be any service where they were going. It was her favorite place, the Frio in Texas. It had been a really hot summer that year. Scorching hot is what her dad called it. More hot days than ever before and hotter than ever before. She was really looking forward to being where the water cooled the air. "Come on, sweetie," said Mom. "We're about to leave." "Okay, Mom." Shana went out with her gear and loaded it into the SUV. She jumped in beside her little sister, putting on her seatbelt, and they were off. Camping was a special time for Shana. She got to spend a lot of time with her dad, just talking, hiking, or fishing. It was really the only time she got to hang out with him since he worked a lot and traveled for business. "What are we going to do first, Daddy?" Shana asked. Dad looked in the rearview mirror from the driver's seat. "Well, I suppose the first thing is to set up the tent, then the covered fire pit, while Mom and Cece set things up inside the tent." "I'm in," Shana said with excitement. "When do we get to go fishing?" "Not until tomorrow, sweetie," said Mom. "It's going to be late by the time we get everything done." Shana was a bit let down, but she understood. That meant they'd have a fire in the fire pit, and Dad would tell them silly stories. She perked up again. When the family arrived at the campground, Shana pulled out her checklist to make sure she did everything on it to help Mom and Dad. She took out her bag and Cece's and stowed them in the tent. She moved the groceries to a safe spot in the SUV so nothing could get to them. She set out the camp chairs, and she carried anything that was light enough that she could lift. After a nice meal of hot dogs cooked over the fire, beans, and salad, Shana helped her mom clean up. Then it was time for the best part of the trip, story time, while eating marshmallows over the fire. "Daddy, could you please tell us a silly story?" Cece asked her dad. "Sure. There once was a pirate named Fat Jack. He was really skinny, which is why they called him Fat Jack as a joke." Shana had heard this one dozens of times, so she just looked at the sky while Dad told a story. The stars were so bright and clear, the air smelled fresh, there was a slight breeze. The only sound was the cicadas in the trees and the frogs from the river below. Before she knew it, she heard Dad say, "Okay, girls, time for bed. We have a big day tomorrow." "Are we going fishing, Daddy?" Shana asked. "First thing, bright and early," he replied. Shana could barely go to sleep. She wanted to go fishing so badly. They never kept the fish. That wasn't the point of fishing. It was a time Shana got to spend alone with her dad, the only time she'd have before Cece got big enough to fish too. The next morning arrived. Shana was up almost before the sun came up. She heard Dad rustling around, getting the fishing gear together, and she went out to help. As they walked silently to their favorite fishing spot, Shana thought, "This is perfect. I want everything to stay just like this." Even though she knew they'd have to go back home soon, back to school, Dad traveling, and Mom working. For now, though, Shana was in her happy place, talking with Dad, relaxing by the water, and occasionally throwing her line into the water. This is Grandma Lori. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed.